Hello my sweeties and welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know me, my name is Elise and thank you for joining my spooky little family. In today's video, we will be talking about When Evil Lurks. Let's get into the video. So for today's video, it is just me, your girl, because Cornelius has their little day off. So I didn't tell him that we are going to be reviewing this movie without him. Yikes. I know, he's just gonna be so devastated. So we're here, baddies, to talk about When Evil Lurks. This is an independent Argentinian horror film that is directed by Damien Rugna. And if you are not familiar with Damien Rugna, you might be. You might have seen a film called Terrified, not Terrifier, Terrified. And it is also in Spanish. And it, to me, is very underrated. It's a very underrated sort of supernatural, demonic, family-driven drama. Oh my God, I'm getting a call from the vet. We're at the end of the year now, baddies, and I think you've all been absolutely sleeping on When Evil Lurks. If you are letting the fact that this film is in Spanish and you would have to read subtitles get in the way, don't, because you are missing out on something really great. Directed by Damien Rugna, starring Damien Salomon, Ezequiel Rodriguez, and Silvana Sabater. When Evil Lurks follows two brothers in a remote village that find a demon-infected man who is just about to give birth to evil itself. They decide to get rid of the body, only to end up unintentionally spreading chaos. Okay, so this film is wild, absolutely wild from start to finish. Now, I was lucky enough to get a screener and watch this film a bit early, but I kind of wanted to wait before doing a review just to see if more people talk about it, because it is currently streaming on Shudder, and I still feel like not enough people are talking about it. Now, I'm really happy that this film is so good because I love seeing Latina people succeed. I really do. And I think Damien Rugna is really up there for me right now. He is just doing films in a way that I feel like a lot of horror film directors right now are just not doing it. Specifically, possession type of films. Now, one of our big possession films that everybody was talking about this year was Talk to Me, but I really think you all need to be talking about When Evil Lurks. This film starts off very intense. You immediately get this sense of dread in just the way that the film looks. Not to mention the film is shot in such a beautiful way. Everything is very kind of bleak and ominous, which I really appreciated because it sets the tone right away that like, this is a film that you're gonna watch and you're not gonna feel good. You're not gonna feel good before, during, or after. So just keep that in mind. I really like this film specifically because I feel like Damien Rugna kind of does something a little bit different with the possession aspect. Also, being a Latina, I do really enjoy seeing little bits of the culture in there, little bits of brujeria and things like that. I feel like it really resonates with me specifically, but I do think it also can resonate with other people. I think it's really something that is deeply scary. We're talking about these real people that are just like trying to live their lives, and this evil is possessing people like almost one by one in their family, and it's terrifying. Not to mention, Damien Rugna really does jump scares very effectively. I am gonna try to leave this review as spoiler-free as possible because I do want you guys to check it out. But there is one scene in particular later in the film with this little girl, and that's all I will say. It is probably the most shocking scene because you really don't see it coming. The way it happens is so upsetting, and everybody around them is trying to explain that this thing is happening, and the other family is like, what? And so there's a lot going on already, and then that happens while everybody is fighting. So there's just a lot of chaos, and it's like, it's just done very well. And it's not like a cheap jump scare. It's so quick. And I have not gasped out loud at like a scare in so long. So it was very exciting to have that feeling. I was completely gagged. And if a movie can have me completely gagged the entire time, I think it's definitely one that I have to prioritize and tell you baddies to see. Let's talk about performances in this film. So our two leading men are absolutely incredible. I specifically really enjoyed Damian Salaman because he just has something about him. Actually, while watching the film, I was so like in awe of him because his acting is so authentic and genuine, and it just feels like he's living this life. And I think that's credit to the script as well. Everybody in the film feels like real people. This feels like a real family going through this thing. And actually, while watching the film, part of why I really liked Damian's performance is because he really reminded me a lot of George Hilton. There's a lot of subtleties he does with his acting. If you're unfamiliar with George Hilton, if you're not a Giallo queen and you don't watch Giallo, George Hilton was famously known for being in a different Jolly, specifically with Edwidge Fenwick, like Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward. I've spoken about him to death on this channel. He's one of my favorite actors of that decade. And specifically, this actor really reminded me of him. So I really like that. Not to mention the other guy who plays his brother, they really had some great chemistry where they were just bouncing off of each other so well. And there are a lot of these really intimate, emotional moments that we see where they're like trying to comfort each other and be there for each other during this time of chaos. And it feels so real. Everything that happens, all of the scares, everything leading up to it feels so gut-wrenching. It feels so like, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up. Like, that did not just happen. And I loved it. It was very emotional as well. It was emotional, it was shocking, and it just resonated so hard with me. I think this is by far my favorite horror film of this year, and you can't sleep on it, okay? You've got to get on Shudder and you've got to watch this because it is a ride, babes. It's a ride. It's like, it's crazy. Also, since I am not going to spoil one of the best jump scares in the movie, I'll just read you guys a quote from the film. And I feel like this quote specifically is very telling of what's to come. The quote is, "Evil loves children and children love evil." And I think just with that in your head, you don't even have to watch a trailer. Don't watch a trailer. You just need to go in absolutely blind and you will be blown away. Not to mention the practical effects. That's another big thing I really wanted to talk about with this film. The practical effects are incredible. For this film to have been independent is crazy. And it looks like that. Everything looks great. Not to mention, I love the way that Damien Urugna sets up his shots. That just ultimately makes the film that much more effective. So that was really fun. I'm so excited to talk about this movie because I feel like this year specifically, I have not had a horror film that I felt really passionate about until this one. And it being directed by a Latina person makes it even better for me. It makes it more special. It feels like, wow, we are doing it, you know? And I think it's great. I've seen a lot of people speak about the film on Twitter, and it makes me really happy. It makes me feel like we're doing something, we're getting somewhere. I love that for us. So I'm very excited to see more of Damien Urugna's films. You guys gotta go in blind. Whether you love it, you hate it, make sure you come back here and you let me know. But just so you know, this film is pretty intense. There is absolutely no fucks given in this movie when it comes to anyone. If you're a bit sensitive to certain things, you may want to look up trigger warnings for the film. There's a lot of stuff that, you know, I could see some people not being okay to watch. But this film really has stuck with me. I think this is a great horror film that could be watched alongside things like The Exorcist or The Omen. Specifically, I feel like The Omen and this movie would just make like a great double feature for some reason. There's just something about that sense of dread and evil possessing. It's so good. There were also a lot of moments in When Evil Lurks that reminded me a lot of The Omen, which I would imagine Damien Rugna had to have been a little bit inspired by that, and probably inspired by things like Children of the Corn and things like that. This film, what a pleasant surprise to end the year with something this great. This is more just like a PSA of me, your girl, telling you that you need to go watch this movie as soon as possible. It's on Shudder. Like, what's stopping you? Shudder is only $5 a month. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's support Latina filmmakers, and let's support this movie. And with that being said, I am going to be giving When Evil Lurks 5 levs out of 5. There is absolutely nothing I would change about this movie. This movie to me it was perfect. And you know what? I'm actually very curious to see what Cornelius's rating is. Should we call Cornelius to get their rating? Let's.
Yeah.
Hi.
Look, I'm on vacation. What's going on? What do you want?
Well, excuse me. The viewers would like to know, what is your rating for When Evil Lurks?
When Evil Lurks. Hold on. Let me look at your letterbox first. When Evil Lurks. What was that one again? I don't remember that one.
Really? You don't?
No, was that the one? That was Talk to Me for Adults. Yeah. That one I gave 5 levs out of 5. That was great.
Oh my god. It's canon that Cornelius and I had the same rating.
Yours is 5 levs out of 5 too?
It is, because there's nothing I would have changed about this movie.
Yeah, no, it was so good. I thought the scares were great. I thought I don't remember anything else about this movie now. You know what? I'm sounding like a liar. This is the one with the car crash thing, right?
Yeah, and the little girl and yeah.
Oh, that scene is so good. It was one of the few movies that actually scared me recently.
Yes.
I'm gonna say it's I think it's the best movie of 2023. Best horror movie of 2023.
I agree. That is why we're doing today's video.
No, it was phenomenal. 5 levs out of 5 levs, and yeah, don't bother me again. I'm on vacation. Bye.
They just hung up on me. And you've heard it. This is a 5 out of 5 lev film for me and Cornelius. I think Damien Rugna is starting to become one of my favorite modern horror directors. He has proven that he truly knows how to get under people's skin. And just when you think that the film is over, he continues to surprise you with twists that are absolutely baffling. All right, you guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps me a lot. And be sure to click that little notification bell to be up to date every single time I upload. And let me know in the comments, have you seen When Evil Lurks? Do you plan on watching it now after this little video? I'd love to talk about it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.